Hello student, as we are discussing our class 12 history part 2 chapter 5, that is through the eyes of traveler. Today we will discuss on Bernier and the degenerate East. So as we all know that Bernier, he traveled to several parts of India and he has written his account where he has compared the East country with the West country, and he has represent out there India as far more inferior to the West country, particularly with France. As we all know that whatever account he has written, he has dedicated it to the France king, that is Louis XIV. So what was his intention? To represent India as far more inferior to that of the West country. His aim might be to convey the policy maker and intelligence of Europe, that they were making the political arrangement, that whatever was being made in Europe was right and appropriate as compared to the Indian society. So his assessment about India was not always accurate, but still his writing became very popular in Europe, and his work was has reaches to masses in Europe due to the printing, which was in contrast to the work in Arabic and Persian language. And this was been possible after the publication between 1800. Before that, his writing was has reaches to the masses through the circulation of manuscript, that was handwritten account. The European masses, they have read it. So now understanding contemporary ruler of Indian society through Bernier account. Here comes the question of land ownership. Bernier contemporary rules of the Indian society account, whatever he has made, has confused many historians rather to help them to understand it, as because he presents certain situation which was far away from reality. As according to Bernier, the Mughal emperor owned all the land and distributed it among his nobles, and due to this it has a disaster effect in economic and social life of the Mughal empire, whereas in Europe the land has the private ownership. Now secondly, since land belonged to the emperor, so landholder could not pass on their land to their children. So landholder were not interested to do long-term investment in the land, and even they were not interested to expand the production in the land, as because whatever production used to be done, whatever profit used to be there in that by that land, that profit used to be taken by the king. So this has prevented the emergence of the class of improvement of the landlord, which has happened in Europe, as there was an improvement in the class of the landlord due to the private property. So there was no improving landlord who had desire to improve the land in Mughal empire. So in India there was a continuous destruction in agriculture, even in the exploitation of peasant, and this has led to the decline in the living standard in all sections of the society except the ruling class. So out here Bernier saw that in Mughal empire it was the king who was the only king of beggar and barbarian, or the uncivilized people. So out there in the Mughal empire, Bernier saw that there was no such king who could rule properly. So Bernier also went to the cities, and what he saw in the city was that he found in the cities that it was totally ruined and contaminated, as because of pollution, which has polluted the air, and the field here, which what he has seen in the village, was overspread with long bushes, and as because there was no ownership in the land, so there was no one to take care of that land. As why they are not taking care of the land? As that land belonged to the king. So for that they are not taking care of the land. So that land was totally been spoiled. They are having the long bushes in that land. The fertility of the land has been lost. So Bernier, what he said is that if European country would have followed the Mughal model, then there would not have been a European country which was so rich, flourishing and well cultivated. Rather, if European would have followed the Mughal model, then the European would have totally turned into desert and the European country would have ruined. This was been said by the Bernier. So as the Mughal, if you will see in the Mughal official, India Deccan, there was official in the Mughal court. So if you will check the see the documents of the Mughal, not in a single part it has been mentioned that all this reason, whatever problem was created in the time of the Mughal Empire, it was due to the state having its sole ownership right in land. So that is Bernier want to prove that West is far more superior than East in oversimplified the land ownership in India. As we have an example of Abul Fazl. In the 16th century, he was an official chronicle of Akbar reign. He had described the land revenue as remunerations of sovereignty, and this is a claim made by the ruler or on his subject for the protections he provided rather than as rent. That means the protection was being given to the land, that was not as a rent. That was been mentioned by the Abul Fazl, the chronicle of during the time of Akbar reign. So this tax was neither rent, whatever he has mentioned, nor land tax, but it was a tax on the crop. So Bernier picture of Indian society was far from the reality of Indian society. As from the 18th century onwards, the Western theorist was there. They also got influenced by the Bernier description of the East. As during that time, French philosopher Montesquieu developed his theory of Oriental despotism. As he was being influenced by the Bernier description of the East, Orient means East and Oriental despotism means where all land belonged to king. No private property exists. King only enjoy absolute power, and except king and his novel, rest of the people in the society were struggling to survive. So we will also see that regarding the Karl Marx also had the concept of ascetic mode of production was been influenced by the Bernier description, where he states that before colonialism, the surplus was appropriated by the state. So out there emerged autonomous of village community, where autonomous was being respected by the state. Till that time, the flow of surplus was not being distributed. If there was a decrease in the flow of surplus, then the state would have not respected that autonomous. So in fact, from 16th to 17th century, rural society was characterized by social and economic difference. How? At one hand, there was a big zamindar who enjoyed superior rights over land, and at the other end, there was untouchable, or we can say landless laborer. And in between the zamindar and the landless laborer, there was a big peasant who used to hire the labor in their land and engage them in doing productions. And the small peasant was also there who could hardly produce for subsistence. Now, next one is our more complex social reality. So out here, the manufacturer who was manufacturing the goods, we have seen that there was no improvement in the quality of production. Why there was no improvement in the quality of production? As because they were not getting any incentive, as well as whatever production profit used to be there, it used to be taken by the state. That is the one who used to rule. That is the king used to take the profit. Bernier out here again contradicted himself by saying that large portion of the empire was fertile, as Bengal was surplus as compared to Egypt in the production of rice, corn, silk, cotton, indigo, and in many parts of its population was abundant and land was tilled. According to Bernier, artisans they used to manufacture carpet, embroidery work they used to do, gold and silver clothes they used to create, and even various sort of silk and cotton goods was being made, which was not only being used by the country itself. Apart from that, it used to be exported to the other European country. This so that rich merchant community exists in India. And it was Bernier only, the historian, who provide a detailed account of the working of the royal workshop, where many artisans were employed and earned their living. And vast quantities of world precious metal used to be brought into India, and in return the exchange of goods used to be done, like that of silver and gold, as because silver and gold were in abundance. So how is it possible that good manufacturing in India, they were in high demand in the world, land was very fertile, but still there was no increase for production, or there was no incentiveness for the increase of the production or for the growth? So due to all this reason, we have seen that everywhere there was a decline in the manufacture, as because they were not being interested, because whatever profit of production used to be done, that used to be taken by the king. So manufacturers were not at all interested to increase the growth. Now Bernier's view or account of the urban cities. Now during the 17th century, the total population which used to live in the town was about 15%, and it was very less as compared to Europeans, said by Bernier. Bernier had described Mughal cities as camp town, and camp town was basically dependent on the imperial camp, that is, whatever grant will be given by the king, on the basis of that grant the city was dependent, or the city used to run. So in the case of land ownership also, Bernier said that there was different kind of town which he has seen, and he has described the towns such as manufacturing town, trading town, port town, sacred center, pilgrimage town, and many more. Now during that time, merchant had their own community, and it was been organized on the basis of their occupation. In Western India, the merchant group was called Mahajan, and their chief was called Seth or Nagar Seth. And even Bernier has said that there was urban groups such as a physician, that is the Hakim or Ved, teacher, that was the Pandit or Mullah, lawyer, painter, musician, etc. So now next, that is our last part, we will move on to women, slaves, sati and laborer. Now we will talk about use of slaves. The slave during that time used to be sold openly in the market. Even slave used to be done as an exchange of gift. Like during any occasion like birthday, marriage, they used to give gift as a slave, they used to give as a gift. Now when Ibn Battuta reached Sindh, he also purchased horse, camel and slave as a gift. For whom? For the Sultan, that is who was the Sultan? Muhammad bin Tughlaq, whom he has given all this gift. Out there, female slave was also being used. For what purpose they were been engaged? They were used there as to give services, women, female slave, to give services to the Sultan. What type of services they used to give? Like music, they used to perform dance, and even Ibn Battuta during that time enjoyed the performance of women slave. during the wedding of the Sultan's sister. Female slave was being employed by the Sultan as to keep eye on their novels. Why? As because so that the novel won't make any conspiracy against the king. If they are making any conspiracy, this woman slave used to inform it to the king. They were also, this female slave was also being employed as a domestic labor. Ibn Battuta has also found that mean slave was also being employed. They were given the task to carry rich women and mean in palki. Next is our sati and human labor. Regarding human labor, we have discussed now sati. Bernier had chosen the practice of sati for detailed description. As practice of sati was a cruel custom in which widow was forced to burn herself alive along with her dead husband. Bernier had given hearty touching description of the child sati in his account Travel in Mughal Empire. Not surprisingly, Bernier had chosen the practice of sati as a mark of treatment of the woman in Western and Eastern society. He has compared the treatment of women in Eastern and Western country. Again, he has shown out here that the superiority of the West over East, because in West the woman was treated far more better as compared to the East. However, human lives revolve around so many things. Besides the practice of sati, they were also been actually participate in agriculture and non-agriculture productions. As the woman was engaged as a slave, the price of the woman slave was very low. So, in our today class, we have seen the Bernier description, or we can say Bernier comparison of the East and the West country in details. What he saw in the Indian society, urban society, has compared with that of the Western country, that of the Europe. And regarding the women, slaves, sati and labor we have discussed. So with this, we cover our Part 2, Chapter 5, that is Through the Eyes of Traveler. So till then, take care. Thank you.